Good evening and hello. My name is 4th class Andrew Brown.
My name is 4th class Linda Drake.
My name is 4th class Amanda Klawinski.
And I'm 4th class Mariah Klinke.
And this is our second film presentation on our project as to why you should invest in the Czech Republic. Now, a couple of fun facts about the Czech Republic. It was first formed in 1993 with the collapse of Czechoslovakia. And before then it was a communist nation, and now it's had free market capitalism. And in 2010, for the first time, they produced 1 million and exported those 1 million cars to surrounding countries. And but that was 5 years ago, and since then they've started to move into more towards a service-based economy.
And here's a comparison of the Czech Republic's inflation rate and the United States inflation rate. In 1993, when the Czech Republic was first formed, its inflation rate was really high, and since then it's slowly stabilized. Over the past 5 years, it's become very stable. Compared to the U.S., it's much more stable than the U.S.'s inflation rate has been, most likely due to it being a smaller economy, which makes it its inflation rate much more predictable.
So here we have the GDP and GDP growth rate in the Czech Republic, also compared to the United States. The United States is represented by the dotted lines in those two graphs. So the current GDP for the Czech Republic is about 200. It was at its lowest in about 2001, and it was at about 60. And its highest was in 2008, where it was about 225. So you can see here with the growth rate, the U.S. pretty much and the Czech Republic, they rose at about the same rate until about 2008 during the recession. The U.S. actually dropped where the Czech Republic rose, showing it had more of like a stable economy, even though it fluctuated more throughout the years after that. So the current growth rate is about 0.4%. It was at its lowest at about negative 3.3%, but it was at its highest at 2.3%. So the future, the way it looks for the Czech Republic, they predict the growth rate of the GDP to just be slow and subtle, pretty subtle. So not too much of a change, but it's kind of a good thing if GDP is just going up and nothing earth-shattering is happening with it.
And moving into unemployment, so when the Soviet Union collapsed, it broke the Czechoslovakia into the Czech Republic and Slovakia. And a lot of times, you know, when these communist parties or communist countries fall apart, you leave nations who are moving into, you know, a market economy where you have to work and you're not necessarily provided for. So having a population that's motivated and willing to work is hard, and unemployment goes up. What's interesting is with the Czech Republic, you don't see this. When the Soviet Republic collapsed, the Czech Republic's unemployment was about 2%, and it slowly increased to just above 7%, but that's not bad. The U.S. has been falling since then, and we're just now above 5%. So they're competing with bigger nations, and this is significant. And another question is, you know, why are they doing well? And they're doing well because when the Czech Republic was formed in 1993, the government did a really good job of motivating the citizens to work. And they did this through encouraging free market and economic freedoms. And when you look at the Czech Republic, they have really strong partners in the Eastern European area, and they've done really well. And Czechs are working, and they're working a lot. On average, they work 1,800 hours per year, and that's actually above the 1,765 hours a year that you'll see on the average 34 democracies in the Organization of Economic and Cooperation and Development.
And so moving into the different funds that we have, Now, keep in mind that this is a 22-year-old country. So we stayed away from bonds that the Czech Republic provides because those are still a little bit shaky just because the country's so young and they don't have a huge economy necessarily, and we're not sure that they can pay those back. But these shares are a great opportunity because the BlackRock Corporation share, the Emerging Europe PLC. BlackRock is a UK-based investment company, and their share was created in 1994, so that's a year after the Czech Republic became a country. And as you can see here, this is the percentages of where BlackRock has their has this fund invested, and most of it is in the Russian Federation, but that's mainly because the Czech Republic was 1 year old when they started this fund, and slowly and steadily the amount of companies that they're investing in are from the Czech Republic. And the iShares MSCI Emerging Markets Eastern Europe ETF is also another great option. It's a little bit different because it was created in 2009, so it's a little bit more heavily focused on the Czech Republic than Russia necessarily. It still is a big percent, almost 60% of it is based on Russia, but you have to keep in mind too that with the Czech Republic being part of the EU, a lot of the surrounding countries determine how well they're doing as a country and economically. And so right now is actually a great time to invest in these two shares because with Russia's economy being in the dumps because of oil, it's making these shares a lot cheaper than they would be primarily. So it's a great time to invest in them now, and they'll rise due to just over time. Investing in these two shares, it's not they're not very volatile shares, and it's not something that you have to worry about looking at. It's something that you can put money into and just let it sit there for a long time and grow. So that's why you should invest in the Czech Republic. Thank you.
Thank you.